In this video, you will learn all about airports, more specifically, 10 of the worst ones in America. After doing a very deep dive into different kinds of airports and statistics, I have found that some airports really do a nice job at, well, being airports. Many food options, clean atmosphere, organized flights, and just a good experience overall. But on the other hand, there are airports that can be described with just one image. So yeah, later on in the video I will also mention some things you didn't know about airports that I found interesting, just to go along with the video. So get ready, I present to you the top 10 worst airports in America. Enjoy! Number 10. Eppley Airfield. Eppley Airfield is located in the city of Omaha. It is 3 miles northeast of downtown Omaha and is the largest airport in all of Nebraska. Or the largest thing in Nebraska. I mean, seriously, besides the natural scenery, what even is there in Nebraska? The airport flies 4.5 million people to their destination every year. The layout is as simple as it gets. A small airport and pretty easy to get around. They have nice people and even a butcher shop. That's right, you can get some delicious brisket burgers and steaks for your travels. With all of this being said, it doesn't seem too bad, right? Well, that is until you hear that this airport has a high percentage of flight delays and doesn't have a lot of dining facilities. So do with that as you will, but in my opinion, I would give this small airport a try just once. Number 9. San Francisco International Airport. San Francisco International Airport is located, as the name suggests, in San Francisco, California. The airport is only about 20 minutes away from the city. San Francisco International is also considered to be one of the busiest in the U.S., the 7th. To be specific, serving more than 52 million people each year. When arriving in San Francisco International after getting checked in and going through TSA, which, by the way, TSA screening process here is known to be a hassle and even described by a Yelper as, quote, a pain in the neck. If you get lucky and pass by quickly, you can be greeted by restaurants having a wide variety of foods and shops for any last-minute gift. I remember the first time I bought something in an airport, I just wanted a simple water, and when I saw that $5 price for one water, I thought you can get an entire package in Walmart for $4. Nevertheless, I learned my lesson and only bought things when really necessary. Number 8. Dallas-Fort Worth International. Located in Dallas, Texas, this airport first opened in 1974 and today sees around 73 million passengers each year. The airport is huge and an inexperienced traveler can easily get lost. The main problem with this one is that it is difficult to get to. Doesn't matter whether you are coming from Dallas or Fort Worth, both distances are 20+ miles away. There are also not many options to take you there and expect paying $30 to $40 if you decide to stick with an Uber. Oh, and I forgot, parking also doesn't come cheap. But let's be honest, where have you ever heard of such a thing as cheap parking? Overall, this place seems to be very disorganized, and delays don't come in as a shock, but hey, if you don't take my word for it, just check out what people have to say. Number 7. Orlando International Airport. Orlando, Florida. Sure, the weather is pretty nice and sunny outside, but the same can't be said for the airport indoors. Averaging around 70 million travelers each year, there are bound to be some problems, and oh boy, are there. Well, first of all, the airport is really spread out, so you better have your running shoes because you'll be doing some running, guaranteed. No, seriously. The lines here are crazy. You thought Disney World had long lines? Just wait until you arrive at Orlando International. TSA is also said to be very rude here, and someone even said they got called names. Now, I know the pressure when going through TSA. That's why before it's even my turn, I already have my shoes off and electronics in hand. A little tip of advice for you. Another thing to point out is delays. Now, this shouldn't really be a frequent thing, especially because of the weather. But, well, here we are. My advice? Visit via a car like I did. As a plus, you get more freedom and stop by at small towns, restaurants, and whatnot. Number 6, OHare International Airport. Shocked to see OHare on this list? Honestly, I was too. I have personally been to OHare and haven't had any major problems. Only the occasional flight delays. But other than that, nothing much. Located in Chicago, Illinois, OHare sees 79 million people yearly and was actually used to film the famous Christmas movie Home Alone. Why is this airport on number 6? Well, apart from its 17-mile distance from the city, there's a lot of factors beginning with the weather, which is usually not the best in Chicago. Traffic to get to the airport is insane, and the overall experience of just arriving at the airport can be quite the hassle. On the bright side, though they have very good restaurants including Tortas Frontera, which I have tried, and I promise, is worth your $10. Number 5, Hollywood International Airport. Before you say it, no, this airport is not in California, but rather in Florida. Seeing approximately 36 million passengers per year, according to various online surveys, this airport is actually one of the most hated ones in the US, and here's why. First of all, the long lines to check in. Delayed flights never end. TSA is known for being very slow. A large number of flights are often canceled, and on top of that, people claim that baggage claim, see what I did there, is extremely slow. If you really think about it, all of these issues can easily be fixed just by having better management, which kind of makes me think about what's going on in Hollywood International. Number 4, Los Angeles International Airport. Yes, LAX. Most known for having a lot of 1v1s taking place at GTA 5. If you are confused by that statement, don't worry. It just means you are not a game addict like me. Anyways, LAX sees around 50 million travelers each year, which is convenient because it is only 25 minutes away from the city. The main problem with LAX is that there are so many people flying in and out every single day that it really causes major problems, like extremely crowded terminals, runways, and even on air. Whenever you are going to LAX, even if it's such a thing as picking up a friend, don't expect it to be like going to In-N-Out, because I promise you, it will consume a large part of your day. Also, did you know that many people intentionally go to this airport just to spot celebrities? Maybe that's a major reason why this airport faces this issue. Number 3, Newark Liberty International Airport, New Jersey. Newark is one of the 3 major airports that is closest to New York City. Being only about 23 minutes away from this city, it is no wonder this airport sees a grand 45 million visitors yearly. Now, like I said earlier, this airport is one of the 3 biggest airports in New York City, and therefore, this causes a lot of trouble in the airspace. And it is no wonder why 3 out of 4 flights get canceled, and why there are around 5,000 delays every day. Not to mention the immense crowds and cleanliness problems in the airport. And if you find yourself stuck at Newark, well, you are out of luck with low-quality chains of food and high prices. Oh, and I forgot to mention, the prices for getting to and from New York on Uber or Lyft are around $60 plus. Number 2, JFK International Airport. Another airport in busy New York, JFK is actually a little farther, being 30 minutes or so depending on the traffic, which is usually not good. JFK sees around 60 million passengers every year, and with many passengers comes many problems. Starting off with the lack of coordination among terminals. Each of its 6 terminals are operated independently. This means that airlines, like they usually do, can't share gates across terminals, or just overall coordinate. To put it to you in easier words, this place runs like a nation made up of different states with no government to keep things in order. So you can just imagine the chaos this causes. Oh, and food isn't the best either. Number 1, LaGuardia. Wow, wow, wow. The things I found when I was doing my research on this airport, I could not possibly make a video like this without LaGuardia being number 1. Now, where do we start? Well, let me first begin by telling you where this airport is located so you can avoid it. Located also in New York, being around 25 minutes away from the city, this airport is the worst airport in the US, with delays having around 6,000 delays almost daily. Security checkpoint is too small for the large number of people. Lines are chaotic. The building is falling and leaking in some places. And just overall, the entire place is bad, including food. Construction never ends. Eventually, everything really. Well, now you know which airports aren't the best around the country. But until you get lucky and win the lottery, you're gonna have to deal with the lines, TSA, and all that comes along with it. Thank you for watching, and see you next time.